And you're still watching Prime Morning. My name is Roslyn Felly, and it's a good day, isn't it? Especially for the MPP. It's a good day. Finally, that long campaign season has ended, and today we are delving into that conversation. But then, if you're watching us, I want to tell you that you have to drink Kowa natural fruit juice today and forever because you want to stay healthy. Grab your Kowa natural fruit juice and enjoy it. Now, it's healthy for you and it's healthy for everybody. So this year, as we stay healthy, we are drinking our Kowa natural fruit juice. Not just that, but then again, you have to go to Franco Trading Enterprise for all your gadgets, because I tell you that you need that authentic gadget so it doesn't break down at the time when you need it the most. So go to Franco Trading Enterprise, they'll give you that gadget and you can go ahead and use your gadget. And now you can sit in the comfort of your home or your office or even in your car and purchase that gadget. How do you do it? Just download the app on your phone, which is the Franco Trading app, or visit our website for further inquiries, which is www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone prepare fee. Now, if you're just watching us, I want to welcome you once again. I say good morning to you and welcome to Prime Morning. Now, over the weekend, the New Patriotic Party concluded a crucial chapter in its internal democratic journey with the election of a flag bearer for the 2028 general elections. After a keenly contested race, guess what? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia emerged as the choice of the party's delegates, securing the mandate to lead the NPP into the next phase of its political contest. This morning, we take a closer look at that process, how the race was conducted, what it says about the internal party democracy within the NPP, and the signals it sends to party supporters and the wider Ghanaian public. More importantly, we ask the critical questions. Does Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's victory, what does it mean for the NPP going forward? How does the party consolidate after a competitive primary? And what are the challenges and opportunities that lies ahead as it prepares for the 2028 elections? Now, you have to stay with us as we unpack the implications, the expectations, and the road ahead for the New Patriotic Party under its new flag bearer. Helping us to have this conversation this morning, my very good friend who is coming from the camp of Dr. Brian Achampong is here, Dr. Dixon Ademakokisi. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, and let me admit, change, papa. When I look at the jewelry you have on, it's nice to be here.
Look, you caught me off guard with that one. But have you slept? Have you slept? Good sleep?
Well, in fact, I think after the long, difficult journey, we all need some sleep. But I'm hoping that the rest of this week would be used for some rest and some reflection of all that has happened. But I'll take this opportunity to congratulate the entire party to begin with, and then most definitely the flag bearer of the party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And let me also wish everybody well. It's been a very tough journey, and as it stands, I think it's time to put everything behind and rally behind the elephant, and as it is, bring the elephant from the forest into town. And I think in commending the likes of the minority leader, he's reiterated the need to bring everybody to the table, and the richness and diversity in the party needs to be celebrated. So I use this opportunity to also celebrate all the aspirants. And I'll start with Kennedy Akumpreko. He's gone down and he will be remembered always in history for his bravado and toughness. And I respect him for that. We also then, talk about Brian Achampong, who I supported in the entire program for his very tough, bold approach to things. And though we're hopeful to also win, it didn't turn out. But I'm sure, based on the good, as it says, show for a new entrant, I'm very positive that at least our message was received. Then the other let me say two, engineer, and then also educationist, Dr. Educhum. I think we wish them all well. It's been fantastic, and I must, in concluding, say that the Electoral Commission carried themselves well. Things were orderly. The delegates themselves also, I commend them. I haven't heard of skirmishes in terms of, fighting, things of that sort. So I commend those who went out to vote and also the police service. The presence was felt and security was top-notch. So, Yohonu, on this one, I hope that it translates into any other election in the country, and so that the police service is better prepared for 2028. Yeah.
Fantastic. Also joining us is the National Communications Director for the CPP, and he's in the person of Osei Kofi Acquah. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Tired. I'm fine.
You're tired? What's
Very
making
tired.
you tired?
Okay, good morning to viewers. Especially very good morning to the people of Jomoro, Elembele, and Eviredra. Whilst the MPP were very busy having their internal primaries, we took a trip to Elembele. Now there's a committee in the CPP which has been mandated to reorganize the party. First, we embark on reorganizational fact-finding mission, which has never been done in the party. Normally, we get zeros and ones, but it wasn't, previously so. So we decided to find out what is wrong with our party. So we went around all the 16 regions and we concluded that. The second phase was to brainstorm at the party headquarters and come up with programs. So one of the programs led us to Elebele on Friday. And then on Saturday, we had a very successful meeting. So greetings to the Western Regional Chairman of the CPP, Nana Tunif, for a very wonderful host. And then the road from Kaswa all the way to the central region is very bad. I can't describe it, and it's what has accounted for my tiredness. But all in all, it's service to party and country. First of all, we congratulate the MPP for successfully copying the strategy of the CPP. This flag bearer election, we did first in 2020. Yes.
How?
We were the one who introduced the need to go for the flag bearership, elect the flag bearership first, okay, and rally the party around the flag bearer. So they copied from us. Okay. And unfortunately, they haven't admitted so. But we forgive them, it's a political thing. So we congratulate them for successfully copying our style and doing it in a very orderly manner. Also congratulate the MPP as a political party, because there are two things here, two individuals here. The party, MPP, and the individual, Mr. Mahmoud Bawumia, or His Excellency Mahmoud Bawumia. If there's anything that excites me about this whole MPP elections, is the fact that false prophets have been exposed, and lazy researchers has also been exposed.
False prophets?
Yes, false prophets. Okay, people who once upon a time told us that God has spoken to them. Some of them even have the impunity to say that they are speaking on behalf of God. And that's so and so and so and so. At the end of the elections, they have seen the smoothest level. God was not speaking to them after all. And I've seen one of them backing out to say that he has to go on sober reflection and then counseling or something. I don't know what that means. Okay? And there are also people who call themselves researchers.
And we have a lot of false prophets in Ghana.
We do. We do.
I beg to differ.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because in Ghana here, in 2024, exactly, in 2024, because in 2024, we saw some great men of God. Let me even take us back.
If it was prophecy, MPP would have won 2024.
Yeah, even 2012. I'll take a look at the one of our best prophets in Ghana. We can't take it away from him. Hate him or love him, Bishop Owusu Bempah or Prophet Owusu Bempah. He prophesied that at that time, Nana Akufo Acquah, His Excellency, was coming to power. He did not come to power. It didn't make him a false prophet. In 2016, he did say that John Dramani Mahama was not going to come to power, but Akufo-Addo won. There were people that also stood on their feet and said that John Dramani Mahama was going to come to power.
The Nigels.
Yeah, the Nigels. He lost. You know, in 2024, we saw somebody, a revered man of God, Prophet Victor Kusi Boateng, say that he was also, you know, putting his...
Supposedly revered.
Yes. Oh, no, he is revered, actually. You know, he's putting his prophetic anointing ministry on the line and telling us that we will know who a true prophet is after 2024 and that the NPP was going to win. What happened? They lost. Does it make him a false prophet? Of course not. So let's
to add to his thing, I really think that true politicians do not take decisions based on prophecy.
Thank you.
And I must admit that even with me, let me share my experience with my mother. She kept, you know, putting it up, and I was like, you know, as well as politicians, if it was so, then once you hear the prophecy, you'd stop campaigning.
Yeah.
So I must admit that within politics, if you're doing politics, you don't work based off of prophecy. And you know, what is also due you can be taken away. I mean, we saw Esau and Jacob. Things are in the Bible where there are attestations of, you know, opportunities. When Abraham was told to, you better tell them your wife is your sister. You know, things like that has happened in the Bible where, though there's prophecy, even Jesus Christ, I mean, when he would have died from stoning if he didn't run away, you know. So, and you can't say that Jesus was a false prophet. So what I mean is that there are things that are human factors in prophecy. So I won't belabor the point. True politicians, those of us doing politics with strategy, vision, mindset in mind, you know, have no bearing on prophecy. It's nice to have God with you. It's very important.
Yeah.
You know, the Almighty has a way of steering affairs, and a loss now may be a win. You know, and not all wins necessarily are profitable or beneficial to man. So I think that the narrative on religion, we need to downplay it, and you know, some of us traditionalists, you know, by default, think
Are you a
that
traditionalist?
I'm a traditionalist by default. Think that you know, there's some room for that in politicking, and mind you, I mean, I always say that even the evangelicals in America took action not necessarily by prophecy, but by the fact that they didn't like the trajectory of the Democratic Party. So there's some room for religion in politics, but not necessarily prophecy.
Fantastic.
You know,
Okay, now I want to find out from you how you assess your flag bearer race. It's been a keenly competitive one, you know, in terms of fairness, in terms of transparency. How will you assess it?
So let me say that from a Las Vegas point of view, the odds were against all the aspirants, I mean, to a large extent, because this top-down approach, honestly, tipped it in favor of a candidate. And I must also admit that looking at the party headquarters results, it's quite...
In favor of a candidate.
It's quite clear, you know, based on the party headquarters results, as it stands, they spoke. And they spoke clearly for one. And that one cannot be disputed, okay? But I mean, it's nice that results have come out, and though they were silent, I mean, they've spoken their minds, and it reiterates through the theme that, you know, the odds were in favor, whether you liked it or not. Once it was the same album that had been, as it is, programmed for a certain result. We tried, it was an uphill battle, but we wanted to make a very resounding statement. And I must admit that, you know, Dr. Barney Champon has made a very resounding statement within the space of 4 months to yield, you know, what we have. I'm very positive that he's defined and rebranded the MPP. The narrative has changed, you know, and I think that we need to continue on bringing people together. And today my key message, wherever I will go, will be about the need to come together. If not, any time that the MPP has fragmented, you know, we've had losses. No matter how you campaign, no matter the ingenuity of the candidate, should there be fragmentation, we can't make it. And mind you, we have a 2 million deficit to make up. And should we, not pay attention to bringing everybody together within the party, then we will lose out on 2028. This was a trajectory during the Liman era. The party fragmented, we lost, and it took several years for Kufuor's time for us to realize that, hey, we have to really come together. And then, to some extent, when Kufuor-Nana breakage happened, it didn't go well for us, and we stayed in the wilderness for another 8 years, from 2008 to 2016. So we're hoping that there should be a conscious and a deliberate effort to bring together people of divergent, opinion to the table, and it needs to be protected. If not, we stand to lose out heavily, and it will affect us not even just in 2028. It can go up to 2032.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that one of the key things that we're hoping is that our unity should not be just a slogan. Very important. People ought to feel that there's reconciliation effort that is not just on paper and not just rhetoric, but we are meaning it. And I will plead with those who did not win, especially. They are sometimes the people that, out of bitterness, are very difficult to bring on board. But I would plead with them. I love Kennedy's statement about the fact that he's lost many battles before, and that he programmed himself or prepared himself for the worst outcome. And that makes him a very, as it is, graceful person who lost. And we should all copy that.
Do you believe Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be able to bring unity in the party?
It's not just him. It's the characters behind, and sometimes they can be more troublesome. Dr. Bawumia will be graceful and very friendly, but it takes the followers and the kind of oration, the kind of mentality or mindset some of the followers have, because Doctor knows what is at stake. He knows very well what's at stake. So sometimes he's not the problem. It's the folks who are behind who also press buttons. So in the following days, I think that many of us, will patiently not capitulate, but we will make sure we support and lead the reconciliation. I will have to do that in my own constituency, and then spread the good message outside of the constituency so that many more actors, who necessarily were not very pro, will now be showing the need to, bridge the gap, so that we all come together as one. I hate to use the word umbrella, but one family.
They can gather under the elephant. The elephant is big enough.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't. I didn't get here to borrow my words and make it different. So in summary, I think that as for the leaders, they'll gel.
Yeah.
But it is the followers who have to watch their words and how we conduct ourselves and think carefully about the win for the entire party.
Right.
It should be a win for all of us.
Okay.
And I think that, to borrow from Brian, he says democracy has won. And once you're in a political party and you believe in people speaking their minds and then the outcome, you have to accept it.
Right.
And do it humbly. As they say, eat a humble pie.
Yeah.
And we're very hopeful. So the MPP party, I think the future is quite clear to us. In terms of even succession, admittedly, I think, we know where the future is moving after this era of two major titans. And I think that, we had in the last primaries two major titans, and now as sort of like three powerful titans in this contest. So the narrative changes. We hope that it excites the base, and I must admit, people are getting ready and very eager and excited to welcome the new MPP. This was a decision of maintaining the status quo or a totally different.
I want to find out from you how Dr. Bryony Champon is doing.
Oh, we hope to meet sometime today.
Okay.
I think right after the program, I mean, he called both Ken, and then I remember his conversation with Dr. Bawumia as well. And then he followed up to the place. And I think we all saw his speech where he gracefully accepted the loss and then congratulated Dr. Bawumia publicly.
How does he feel with regards to
he doesn't,
the percentage he got?
I mean, he's very positive. We would have wished we did better than 18 to 19%. But I think we have to be very realistic in a sense that we started a bit late, and within 4 months, you're dealing with somebody who's been at it for 16 years. I mean, so 4 months versus 16 years, known in the trenches. I mean, what more can I say? So I think he said it quite clearly. We thank the Lord for how far He has brought us, and I think that I follow in the same suit. And elections are elections. When you lose, you don't feel so good. Trust me. It's in Boy area. But in as much as you're a true politician, he's suffered losses before. In Suhum. So this is not like, a new thing. And many of us in politics, one of the badges we wear is many political defeats. I was happy to learn that, the likes of James Cameron, the likes of Tony Blair, they went through many defeats, but we only know them for their successes. Yeah. So when James Cameron resigned and I went into his history, then I realized that, hey, this man had lost many other things. Okay. So many politicians,
it's normal, right?
For us, it's
normal. What do you think? Because if we take a look at Dr. Bryony Champon, he's probably one of the few candidates that toured the entire region. He really campaigned. Yeah. And his message was one of the best that we had.
Oh, yeah.
However, he didn't win. What factors do you think went against him?
The delegates are sophisticated. I mean, let me admit, and some of them look at so many things. They are entrenched positions. And to make a U-turn, was difficult. Commitment to a certain candidate, So I can't blame them. It's a bit more of their conservativeness, let me put it that way. And it's good for the party, I must admit. Really? When you take a stance, you need to, to reaffirm it. So these are what a true conservative party should be. And in a sense, so that when you become, the main person, then you know that people really are supporting you. But I mean, let me also say that inadvertently, this is not, 56% for our flag bearer also just shows that there's a lot more work that we have to do as a party internally. Because in other instances, many flag bearers, their second round is more. So you'd have hope that from 61 then maybe to 68 or 72 or 73, which was the initial forecast.
Yeah.
But to actually drop in percentage means that we have a lot more work to do.
So then I'll ask you this question. The first one was the factors against Dr. Bryony Champon. The factors against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, how he dropped from 61% to 56%. What could be the reason?
Well, I dare not say.
Exactly.
I dare not say, but I think that as it stands now, he's won. All he needed was a 50+1%, and he would have been called a flag bearer. So I think that in the initial stages, I was somewhat worried for his team, in the sense that when you have people move into the undecided bracket, then it meant that, your leverage is reducing. And the results show that, he lost some leverage. But it also signals that we need to work hard, to bring people together.
You keep on saying you need to work hard. Now, with 61%, you didn't even get to win, 2024 elections. Now,
you have to go here.
Yeah, so just a question for the people. I have my producers who are saying all sorts of things. So on behalf of my producers, I'll put you in the corner. 56%, and you said there was voter apathy, especially in your biggest, or your strongest of holes, the Ashanti region. Now, with 56%, do you think that you'll be able to gather the numbers to kick the NDC out of power?
I must admit that we are going to work hard first to make sure we get our parliamentary seats, very important. And that then, in addition to correcting some of our wrongs, will help us. And I think that the influence of governance, or as it is, bad governance during the MPP, government period will be, as it is, lost on the Ghanaian people over time. And this time, Dr. Bawumia will be standing on his own merit, more so than necessarily, the sole immediate relations and attachment to the government. And people see him in a new light. And it's going to be rebranding, no matter what. So the party will rebrand itself.
Okay.
Some characters will be moved around.
Okay.
Some, communications will change. Style of, doing party business will change.
Okay.
And I can, and hope that the party executives will be mindful of that. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement. And we're very hopeful that based on the candidate and the time, that things will turn around for us in 2028.
Okay, fantastic. My final question to you before you go, if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should invite Dr. Brian Champong as a running mate, will he accept that invitation?
We'll leave that to the two of them. But, they've been fantastic friends and continue to be. And in fact, in all of this too, let's be mindful that NEC decides whether they agree with you or not.
When you propose.
So it's not necessarily entirely in the bosom of the flag bearer. So even if the two of them agree, NEC may decide otherwise. So we'll leave it at that.
Okay, fantastic. And thank you so much for being here, Doc. I know that you have to go. Before you leave, anything you want to say?
Well, once again, I am very thankful and would share my appreciation and congratulations to Dr. Bawumia for his successful win and the transparent and manner in way the elections was conducted. And I'm pleading that we champion reconciliation within our various constituencies, which I'm going to lead mine to, so that we come together and work towards one single goal of getting back into executive power. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you once more. Anyway.
Pleasure.
All right. I have to let you go, but I wanted to ask, am I permitted or you're in a hurry? One more?
Go ahead.
I should ask the lessons you've learned so far with these elections.
Lessons learned. In this politicking, friendship matters. And I think that, the likes of Afenyomakins have shown to me that, he made a quote that, if there's everything wrong with your person, once he's your friend, he's your friend. And I think we should keep that in mind, that friendship and loyalty to friendship also matters. And this thing we call politics, there's so many complications in it. But I would take somebody who's loyal to what he says he is to over somebody who will be fickle.
Okay.
So in the long and short, some of us are true. We will tell you, no, we see it this way, and we'll stay with that. We might be even better than those who are munafikis, who would be dilly-dallying. So in all of this, let the friendship be good in the party, and let's stay loyal to the MPP. Yeah.
People are calling for Afenyo Markin's head, looking at the numbers that were gathered in, his...
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Honorable, you know about that?
I hesitate to comment.
Okay, but you saw the figures?
I haven't.
Okay, Honorable says he hasn't. Thank you so much for being here, Honorable. We are grateful. We want to take a quick break. When we come back, we continue with that conversation. Just stay.
Hey, sorry. Inshallah. Please, sir. That ain't coming himself. President speaks. Hey, sorry. Inshallah. Please, sir. That ain't coming himself. President speaks. Hey, sorry.
So you're still watching us, and the MPP primaries, not primaries actually, flag bearer race actually ended over the weekend, where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has emerged as the flag bearer one small. Okay, so as it's happened, everybody's excited about it. For those who are not excited about it, they still say they will rally behind the man because they need to bring unity in the party. Osei is still here. Osei is a part of the CPP. And I want to find out from Osei, your general overview of the election so far. There are elections.
Let me go back to state that I don't want to be misunderstood.
Okay.
I was talking about false prophets, the lazy researchers being exposed. I'm not talking about prophets in general.
Okay.
There are some of them who predictions come true, and so they are exempted from those I'm calling out. So basically, that's what I want to say. And I want to support Honorable Kisi that as politicians, we should be more concerned with what the scientific data says, rather than the predictions of prophets. It's important. You can't take it out. But the point is, we must always find out what the grassroots are saying, what the people we intend to serve are saying. So basically, that's what I want to say. My overview of the whole thing is that there are quite surprises. Of course, for example, I thought Brian Champon is a first timer, and so he's gonna drag his feet coming up. But then, he catapulted. And I was also surprised that the showdown man couldn't give a showdown after all. So there were surprises. And as he also admitted, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia dropped from popularity in the party from 60-something%. 61 to 56. About 56. Okay, that's a very marginal reduction in popularity in his own political party. And it should concern everybody who's a member of the MPP. If you take all those things out, I think, all in all, it went well. the Ghana Police Service did a fantastic job. A very, part on their shoulders, they did very well. And the delegates also conducted themselves very well. As for the money they shared, they shared. So the issue of what we have come to know as monocracy can never go away from our political, space. And I am not against it, based on principle, okay? Because these are people who have to earn a day bread, okay? You ask them to congregate at a place, stop whatever they are doing, they don't go to work and all those things, just to, work for the party. And at the end of the day, you are saying that they should go and starve. It's really, inhuman, okay? And it's not realistic. Mm-hmm. So I foresaw and I understand that, certain money should be given to delegates to aid their transport, feeding, and all those things. So monies were paid. Now, there's going to be a huge task, if not impossible task, on the head of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And as it stands now, it sucks to be in his shoes.
It sucks to be. I'll let you hold on to that. I'll come back to you because we have from the camp of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ishak Ibrahim, joining us on Zoom. Good morning, Ishak.
Good morning.
Ishak, your line is breaking.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. How are you? And congratulations to you.
Thank you, very much. Congratulations to the NDP.
Fantastic. I like that one. Ishak, I know you have won, but so far, your general overview of the elections.
Okay, check. For the war, in particular, as Patrick said, well, it is the head for the height of the country. I sure we saw that had gone. I had the opportunity of going to Agbera, some parts of Wal.
I was supposed to finish. I was going to join you.
So these are, I was, and I also around. So I was as and about prophecy as well as a person of faith. I was very scientific, and I also can also be, if you are very with the philosophy of finance. So actually, these are a have the right as also done. You are research to a channel that have actual philosophy and can discover through research. So the research, facts have it. So I wasn't that like that.
All right, so we'll try and raise Ishak again. The network is not too clear, so it's breaking. So we'll try and raise him again to get to understand what he was trying to say. But you're still watching us, and we've also been joined by Yao Opoku-Mensah, and he is a spokesperson on behalf of Dr. Yao Osei Educhum. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, thanks for having me.
Great, and how are you feeling?
Same spirit. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Sure.
All right, fantastic. I'll come to you and ask you more questions, but I was with Osei before I had to take Ishak online. Osei, you were making a point.
Yes, so what I was saying is that it sucks to be in the shoes of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia right now because he has a lot to do. You see, the MPP is talking about reconciliation. And they want to reconcile themselves based on something that was avoidable. But let me make it, let me caution them. I don't think any amount of reconciliation can undo or can unsay some of the things that were said against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And this is going to be something they have to really, really fight with. For example, during the campaign, I'm going back because I am not in their party. That's for them to reconcile. in the campaign, there was a statement made against him. He's a liar. It was a very, very serious issue. So right now, me in another political party, what it means is that whatever the flag bearer elect of the New Patriotic Party will say are lies. And it came from somebody who's within that party. That is number one. I mean, in our subsequent times, I will look at the MPP as a political party, its brand, and the integrity it suffers. Okay, because they just left government and there are so many scandals. Then I'll look at the candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, the reason why it sucks to be in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's shoes right now is to whether he will follow the Mills legacy or the Akufo-Addo legacy in choosing a running mate.
Okay, which is?
So in the year 2000, Professor Mills had to go with Martin Amidu. It didn't work. He was repeated as a flag bearer and decided to go with Dr. Momuni, formerly of Kubungo. It didn't work. Then he sat down and said, maybe I need somebody who's younger, who can brand my campaign, outspoken and all that. And he went for John Mahama, and it did work for him. So that is the Mills legacy, changing running mates to see whether it will work. In the MPP, Nana Akufo-Addo nominated Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in 2008. It didn't work. He stuck with him. They came back in 2012. It didn't work. They went to Supreme Court. And then in 2016-15, he stuck with him, and it worked. So right now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, after suffering internally a bit of what I call humiliation, to drop from 61%.
Why do you say this is
Because in your own political party, you have to be popular.
But he still won. All he needed was a 50+1.
Politics, it's a game of numbers, right? The people who are sending you to war must all rally behind you, willing to die for you, go all out for you, okay? So if at a point you went to war and you have a certain number of people, they are not dead, but these people are now finding ways in other people's arms because they don't trust you, then that's something you have to worry about. And so to me, it is very unfortunate that he's in this position. So his saving grace right now will be first, his incoming national executives of the party. That's the saving grace. And I think that the general secretary of the party is loved. It's just a free consultation I'm giving to them. The general secretary of the party, Justin Kudiafo, is loved. If he maintains them, I mean, if they maintain him and find a certain group of people to rally behind him, it will help them. Then there's a running mate. Do you repeat?
Do you think you should repeat the running mate?
I'm not in any position to decide for him, but I think
right? Yes.
That his running mate was unpopular in 2024. Based on certain utterances and some perception about his relation to other colleagues. Okay, I don't know whether it has changed. All right, but the point is that, like I said, the Mills legacy. When he went with Martin Amidu was perceived a true cadre who's outspoken and he will tell you his peace of mind and blah blah blah. So even his own political party people, really did not support that. Then he came to Dr. Momuni and he said, okay, Dr. Momuni too much a diplomat, blah, 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 blah. Then he came with the face, John Dramani Mahama, outspoken, reaching out to people, communicative and all those things. And it got him somewhere, all right? So it is up to him to analyze these things I'm saying.
If you were in his shoes, what would you have done?
If I'm in his shoes, to get the party, to rally everybody, I'll go for a true party man who has served the party for so long, who knows the history of the party, who has a very good track record, and who was not, and I repeat, who was not a member of cabinet, a managing director, a CEO of the elsewhere Nana Akufo-Addo government. Because as I speak to you, that's where it comes to the branding of the party. The party is suffering an image crisis. Okay, the party just went out of power. Most of the appointees under investigation. As I speak to you, the person who was in charge of our public purse is on a run. He's a fugitive. All right. So if you bring certain people who are all perceived to be part of that clique, which brought Ghanaians to that state, and then you made the person a running mate, there will be some shots fired, and those people will be casualties.
All right, thank you very much. I will come to you, Yao, very soon, but we have Dr. Kwame Asa-Asante, who has also joined us on Zoom, and so I want to speak with him briefly before I come to you, Yao. Please pardon me on that.
Sure.
Good morning, Doc.
Hello?
Yes, Doc. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning.
How are you, Doc?
I'm very well, and yourself?
We are doing well. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us this morning. Doc, obviously, the NPP has decided who their flag bearer is for the 2028 elections. And talking about that, are you surprised at anything that happened with regards to the turnout on Saturday?
Oh, no, I'm not surprised. I must say that I must commend them because they did a good, and the election ended as nothing but free and fair. It tells you how much effort they put in for the election. Two, I must also congratulate security services. They were also on top of their duty and as well electoral function. But back to the party, I was not surprised what happened. Because if you look at polls and the rest of them, Bawumia was way ahead. Even though some of the polls where I saw them as focus groups. Right. But it's part and parcel of the process normally people use to sway voters one way or the other. But that said, it doesn't also mean that all the polls are somewhere genuine and all that. I was not surprised about Bawumia's victory because a number of things were, and if you permit me, I will touch on it. One, experience. He was able to leverage on that he's been very experienced ever since he was nominated by Nana Akufo-Addo, and then he went through the process to becoming a vice president for 8 years. A lot of economic ideas to do including issue of digitization and all that. So he believed that he was well tested if given the opportunity. He also preached a message of unity. And he wanted to unify the party so that the party can be and stand together, forge ahead for 2028. Of course, broad grassroots vision did not also elude him. He believed that by able to support the grassroots and build them as solid as possible, they will be the vanguard of the party as they move to 2028. He was also in a position to drum into the ears of the voters that give me the mandate and I'll continue the forward-looking economic measures that we introduce, take it a notch further. And then he also talked about discipline within the party. And he wants to, if you look at his campaign generally, you realize that he himself was not that attacking opponent, even though some attacked him from his camp. But he himself had something different. And that was a good sign for him. So I have no doubt in my mind that he was able to win and win convincingly. Having said all this, it must also make it abundantly clear. From me, from where I sit, Bawumia is not corrupt. He's a fine gentleman. He has his weakness as any other human being. Yes, but a few things also stand against him. Now that he's won, yes, now this is where the battle has started. All those negatives are going to come up. One of the challenges that the party will be facing any moment from now, especially when NDC elects their running mate, their flag bearer, is the issue of the things that were said against him by his own party members, his contestants, and the rest of them. How is he going to deal with them? Because some of the things they said have far-reaching implications for the election 2028. And I doubt very much how they can clean that. It's a difficult, and that will also put those contestants in a very difficult situation. I am wondering how President Kennedy Ajapong can come out and campaign vigorously for Dr. Bawumia, giving the son of things that he said against him. And I'm also wondering how Dr. Champong campaign he launched against Bawumia, how he's going to take back space. Already they are out there, become raw materials for opposition campaign 2028.
Doc. All right. So, Doc, looking at this, are you saying that in 2028 it could affect the party as a whole?
Oh, definitely, because some of the things they said against him. So damning. Yeah, I was from the word go cautioning the contestants that look, this is a family contest. So let your language be free from, violence, as it imposed. In other words, come out with what? Let your language be measured and tempered. And then remember that you are all family members. You run one down so much, it becomes so difficult for you to work. I watch that individual. And it fell on deaf ears. I'm sure you saw the toxic nature of the campaign, attacks on him and all that. He himself not guilty of that, but his other opponents and members of the team who came out and lodged those things against him. Remember, all of us are witnesses to this. And those of us and where we sit as political communication scholars and experts, all right, the expert will pick these things and then build messages around. Of course, Bawumia has his own baggage, and that will also play out. But he has also some good strength that also can be used, leverage on his chances of also winning. So it's a mixed bag, but it's a matter of time.
What happened in 2024 general elections, looking at the voter apathy that happened, although Dr. Bawumia has been maintained or retained as the flag bearer, one would say that the number of votes that he got at that time within the party, 61%, and now he's gotten 56%. The party still has some time to rally the people together. Can they do it and make sure that people come out to vote in their numbers to support them and bring victory to them in 2028?
If you look at it from the perspective of the numbers did a little bit, but for me, it doesn't mean anything as well. But what it tells me is the fact, look, there's a lot of work that which he himself is not oblivious to that part. So he's going to work hard and then make things work. But there are a number of things that he needs in order to balance up and have a strong ticket to move on. Issue of a running mate is critical for him because there are a number of things that are weighing against him. One of it that can help him is that you bring in a candidate that to represent the party, loved by many, and he can galvanize the support for him. If you look at the 1.7 million people that the MPP, their own people who did not for them, how is he going to attract them? This is something that they have to rack their brains and then make sure that they get it right. Because remember, ever since, I think you have a question.
To find out if you're saying that he should change the running mate or he should maintain the running mate, which is which?
I am not saying that, but I'm saying
okay.
He can change or he decide not to change. I don't have a problem.
Okay.
But he needs to get somebody who can really bring in the vote. You see, the reason why we choose running mates are for three things. One, you look out for the leader, his weaknesses, and bring in somebody who can come and fill that gap. You also need a running mate from the perspective of the fact that you are bringing in somebody who who can come and lend him more support and then make the party attractive, the ticket attractive. I'll give you a case in point. If you look at why Mr. Biden was added to the ticket for Obama, was that Biden was very much good in the area of diplomacy. America is what it is because of diplomacy. So they brought him in just to complement the ticket of Obama. All right, he needs that type of calculation. In the last one, you need to also bring in somebody who can bring a lot of people from different constituencies. All right, remember Dr. Bawumia, he has a number of constituencies. Apart from his own region, the region is his constituency. Nobody should make a mistake and think that I'm preaching ethnicity. Regionalism is different from ethnicity. We can be in the same region, but we belong to different ethnic groups. But the region is of importance to him. Remember, he lost woefully in the last election within his own northern regions. All right. He also have a duty to make sure that this time around he'll be able to carry everybody along, including Muslims. And if you look at the record, and don't get me wrong, that I'm preaching a religious card here, or I'm playing the religious card, no. Because I know religion doesn't play so much politics role in Ghanaian politics. Because if you follow religion and it's anything bad, this is the first time we had a Muslim who stood for election, that is 2024, and the support he got from Muslim community was very abysmal. It's a Muslim different factors, but not religion. If you also look at the fact that the Fourth Republic, we have had only Christians who have been the flag bearer, apart from Dr. Bawumia. The Muslims, where did they vote for? They voted for Christians. It tells you that Muslims do not consider whether you are a Christian or a Muslim. They look out for something that to them will serve their interests. But of course, it's a game of numbers. So he should be able to get all those constituencies by himself. And then also, he's a scholar, a great one, of course. He should be able to also attract a lot of scholars to his side. And then also win the large majority of them. So it's a tall order that he needs to work. But these things are not insurmountable. I think when the party is able to put it together, and balance the ticket, then he has a great chance of competing effectively. But if you fall short of this, then the campaign is going to be difficult.
All right, thank you so much, Doc. I'll come back to you and have more conversations with you. I want to come into the studio. We've also been joined by Dr. Nanayao Educhum, and he is the Director of Policy and Economy United with the United Party. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Roslyn.
Great, and thank you so much for being here.
Very well.
Fantastic. Now, I want to start the conversation with you, Yao, before I come to you, Doc. Yao, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, sure.
For you, how was the elections?
It was a nice experience, and I think the NPP should, I think we need to applaud ourselves for a good show. Right from the onset, throughout the organization and how we ended it, tells that if you're looking inward to look at a political party that do understand what the tenets of democracy is, you don't have to look further than pointing to the doors of the NPP. And I think we've demonstrated that ability, and that is what we've deepened within our political party. You can check across all political parties within the country. It's only the NPP that gives that competition among its members, especially when we're looking or we selecting a presidential candidate for any elections. From the days of 1992 till now, it hasn't been easy. And that's why we are able to produce the best of leadership to the country. And the just ended election is not different from what we know the NPP to. President Kofo's flag bearership race wasn't an easy contest, same. Talk of Professor Dubois until the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and that of what happened just last Saturday. It's a testament of what the NPP is noted for. And we live democracy, we work democracy, and we deliver on democracy. That's why our motto is development in freedom. And freedom only flourishes when the opportunity for members to be articulative in terms of engaging the actors and be able to make a firm decision based on the sentiments of the good people of Ghana. And therefore, this particular elections, with its whole organization, from the elections committee's perspective, National Council putting together that wonderful team, and the kind of engagement that we had from them, every step of the way, the aspirants had their reps with them. Every decision that we took was a collective one in the interest of the party, because we were mindful of the outlook of the party's image as well, their reputation. And therefore, we had no choice than to deliver what democracy is. And that is basically what we did on Saturday. And so I am so excited to have been part of that process through the opportunity given to me by Dr. Osei Kofi Acquah, the former education minister and the member of parliament for the good people of Bosomtwe. I really appreciate the confidence he had in me at the national level to be his spokesperson. And it's an experience that I'll always cherish. I never dreamt of having that opportunity. But again, it came in and it tells that leaders within the party look down to see how we act, especially within the young folk, are responding to what the values of the party are. And it's a testament because this process gave us new discoveries as to how formidable we can be when we put ourselves together. And trust you me, just look at the Pandai Supreme Court issue. When we all put ourselves together to rally behind the member of parliament, we got that result. And therefore, we've been able to discharge this excellently. The aftermath is what we are looking at. And I have no doubt in my mind that the singing of that song, Unity, has already started. When the polls ended, you saw the speeches by the various aspirants.
Yeah.
Even prior to the official announcement, the various aspirants on their own accord started congratulating the eventual winner before the official declaration was made. And the call for all of us to close our ranks and rally behind their candidate is what is significant. And that is what I think the bell sounded should be tilted towards, so that we can end the process smoothly and ensure that Ghanaians get back the NPP that they always cherish for the continuity of development. Not just development that meets the aspirations of the good people of Ghana. That is what the NPP is noted for. And I strongly believe 2028 will be a wonderful year for us to have the view of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the President of the Republic of Ghana. And that is what we are looking at within this current situation.
Fantastic. Now, I want to narrow the conversation down to your candidate. You know, your candidate had beautiful policies. I think the day we had the roundtable discussion, I realized the kind of policies he has. And it would have been so good for the party. And one would have said that listening to all these, the people would have voted massively for him. Were you surprised at the outcome for your candidate?
Oh, not at all. Just this morning, I was telling one media outlet that there is nothing like I came second, third, or whatever. There is only one outcome, an eventual winner. All of us, we rally support and we move on. So whatever numbers that came, at the end of the day, is immaterial. What is important is that the NPP has a wonderful candidate in the person of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Whether if one got 20, whatever percentage that any aspirant got, the ultimate aim was to select a candidate. And the candidate has been selected through the voices of the very party people that represented thousands of other individuals to communicate their sentiment to the rank and file of the party, that this is the candidate that we are looking for within this crucial moment. And that is what they've gotten now. Our responsibility is to be able to rally support behind the elected candidate. And that is what has started already. So after election, there is no campaign. I'm a Methodist by faith, and my Methodist book will tell me the strife is over, the battle is done. Now is the victor's triumph won. So that is where we are looking at. The euphoria built around after the election of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia at the party headquarters when the announcement was made, the speeches, the introduction of him by the General Secretary. And if you were around to see across the divide, the various aspirants with their supporters there, having that feel of a renewed, energized NPP base again, gives that absolute confidence among ourselves. And I believe the same sentiment that I saw at the party headquarters is what probably happened across the length and breadth of the country. Whoever was watching was at peace now that the NPP has a candidate in the person of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and therefore we have an election to win. Every other commentary for now is immaterial. It cannot add up or it cannot subtract. What is important is that we need to start unpacking what was done, and we need to be able to articulate that beautiful thoughts, programs, policies, whatever these 5 aspirants brought on board. We put them together as a means of giving back to the Ghanaian people what the NPP is noted for. And trust with me, the NPP will do justice to that. And we'll come back to your show again, discuss in detail what we offer this country. But for now, I think we still need to celebrate the whole architecture that was made, and the other actors, the Electoral Commission, the Ghana Police Service, with that kind of service that they rendered out.
Okay.
At the end of the day, won, not only for the NPP, but for Mother Ghana, deepening our democracy. And I believe all the other political parties will have to look at the NPP and start emulating. And that is the beauty of what democracy is all about.
I like that.
And I'm looking forward to seeing them looking in there.
Well, the CPP says you copied their style, though.
CPP?
Yeah.
Copy their style in what?
Yes.
Is it 1960 or where? Please.
But you asked a question.
She asked me, not you.
Yes.
Yes. Please, let's have a conversation.
So
we're having a conversation.
They actually started this voting thing where they select the flag bearer before they select the
top-down approach.
The top-down approach before they select the.
That's never been done in history.
Hold on.
It's never been done. And now they did it first. Now you have decided to do it too. So you copied their style.
The flag bearership position is not part of the organizational structure of the party. That's why it doesn't have a fixed term. And therefore, our constitution gives us specificity as to when and where to select it, when we are in opposition. You get it? And that is what we followed up. If you say we copied from you, that's fine.
Good.
But again, again, we know from 1992 up to date, I don't know when the CPP did this beautiful thing. You can come. You can come join us. If you can't be them, you join them. Yeah, so you can just come join us and then come and
all right, thank you, Yao. I just ask my final question to you, then I can move to Doc. Just want to know the strength that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is bringing to the party and what his challenges will be.
For now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we all know him, what he's capable of, what he brings on board. I think the credentials of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is already known. As to what you term as challenge, etc., for now, the ultimate aim is that we need to get him out there. You assessing his credentials, what he did in government, what he still offers this country is more paramount to this whole conversation. That's why I kept advising prior to this election that we don't need to press the panic button or any distractive button. The primary focus should be on the strength of that individual candidate. Mind you, no single individual can on his own accord win power for the NPP. And I think there are practical demonstrations to that, not only for the NPP. We've seen people moving out from their political party with the aim, oh, I'm popular, but goes out there and realize that that is not what the perception is. So once you understand it from that perspective, you don't dwell so much on what people perceive to be a negative aspect of whatever. That's their thinking. And we need to disabuse that thinking from the mentality of those individuals and begin to look at the positive elements in there. And that's why the uniqueness of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, spicing up this whole conversation about the NPP winning power, becomes fundamental. The fundamental aspect is based on what he is capable of. And listening to Doug on the other line, I think when it comes within the choice of leadership, people want to look at corruption, etc. If you cannot get that in the person of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, then what it means is that you have an excellent leader in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to be able to win that political power that we seek for. That comfort for the Ghanaian people that when we give him that mandate, he will be able to save that purse, give us the development that we need, and transform the fortunes of this country to the height that we are all seeking for. That is what is ultimate to me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Yao. Now, Dr. Educhum, in 2023, your party broke away from the NPP just because of these things. It was the same thing. Going to, elect a flag bearer, your party decided that it wasn't a fair one, and so you decided to break away. Now, if you sit on the fence and you're watching what happened on Saturday, do you think it's been fair?
Well, first of all, let me commend the party for having gone through.
But I haven't seen your statement. I've seen that of the NDC.
The CPP has also issued statement.
Oh, okay, thank you. But I haven't seen your...
Days, I guess.
He's here today, so let's hear what he has to say.
Our communications directory will do the needful. But as he said, in fact, nothing has changed. That must be established. The unfortunate thing is that typical of our system and of our media, the NPP is using its muscle and structure to sweep under the carpet very critical issues. And it appears to me that we, the media especially, are also more or less buttressing that kind of posturing, which is not good. What are the issues? First of all, these primaries in the first place, it shouldn't have happened the day or within the period that they had it, that was Saturday, for a number of reasons. One, in 2021, 2022, the album that they used for this election was actually crafted. And if you follow, because I was member of MPP, then interested party, you know what the antecedents were. We went through very destructive process in selecting delegates. And most of them were selected because the system wanted to elect Dr. Bawumia as the flag bearer. That is not right.
No.
That is not
This current album was done in 2020.
It was done in 2021, 2022. Indeed, I was the police station.
It was not done in 2021.
But he's from the NPP.
It was not done in 2021. No, it was never done in 2021. No, that's not true.
I'm just
That's not true. You know what?
No, so
Osei here knows. Osei here knows. Osei here knows.
If we play this game,
it's a correction.
You can't allow somebody to make a statement which is not true.
It's not a correction. We're having a conversation.
I'm not producing your program.
We're having a conversation.
I'm not producing your program. But give me the opportunity to tell me the truth.
Gentlemen,
exactly. I was a police station.
It was never done in 2021. That is not the case.
2021,
that is not true.
When was it done?
That is not true.
Gentlemen,
we did that in 2023.
What are you talking about?
That's
the truth.
Gentlemen,
every year,
listen. Gentlemen, can I come in, please? What I'm trying to say is that, Osei, please, and please again. The reason why we allow people to speak during their time is because everybody has a time to counter. When we keep on doing this, we will not be able to...
But what if the person make a wrong statement?
Please, let me...
Because somebody might be watching...
Let me land.
Right, I'm okay. I mean, this is a big fight.
Fantastic. So you see, when we keep interjecting, the message will never be sent across. He has said it. If it's not right, he will have his time to counter. And it's perfect. And when he's countering, the same people are online watching.
The viewers
wait,
might.
Osei, you are not producing. The producers are there. They know what is right.
Okay.
So they will tell us what to do. So please, everybody has their time.
Okay.
Please allow. Yes.
Yes, I was making the point that, and in fact, I was a polling station chairman, and it wasn't my first portfolio within the party. I had been polling station secretary in different constituencies. This album that they are using was established 2021-2022, and that move up for all the series of elections.
But you're not
Nothing
there
has
this time,
changed.
so how do you know if
I can show you when we finish. I'll prove to you something that they don't know.
That they don't know.
That they don't know. You see, some of us, when we speak...
What do you know that they don't know?
I'm saying that when we finish, there are things that, we are still within the network. We are still within the network. But the fundamental point I'm making is that this whole election was cooked up for Dr. Bawumia. It's not in doubt. In the first place, all the four contestants, apart from Dr. Bawumia, fought against the top-down approach. Is that in doubt? No. All of them were against that because that is not the right thing to do. Secondly...
Should I give you a pen and a paper?
Don't worry.
I can give it to you so that you just add the point.
But you are aiding and abetting. It's okay.
Another point, you see, and that is actually the structure that they use to ensure that the system's candidate is elected. And I'm not surprised that some of the spokespersons are speaking the way they are speaking because it's part of the whole orchestration. People are recruited to represent some of the interested parties in other camps. It happens all the time. And if you are serious about primaries, I've had opportunity to be at the top level of a candidate campaign about three different primaries. So I know what I'm talking about. And then we are also sweeping under the carpet the monetization involved in the primaries. And I'm surprised that other parties like my brother from CPP will not show interest in that. Rosalie, what happened?
He did
on Saturday, Saturday, there were messages in the media, the conventional media platform, social media, of delegates saying that they've received 500 Ghana cedis from candidate A, 500 cedis from candidate, waiting for 500 cedis from the third candidate. How many people were apt for the vote? 211,000 people. If, for conservative analysis, you say that even the money went to just about 200,000 people of them because you take away the national officers, the MPs, and those senior people. We are talking about over 120 million cedis for the three top candidates. 120 million cedis. So if this excludes the amount of money that they've invested for 10 months of campaign, if we sweep this under the carpet, how do you expect that our democracy will crowd in people who have patriotism to serve their country, who have the competency, the technical know-how, and to serve Ghana and ensure that we transform our economy? You cannot have that. Another point, look at the whole election. It was so policed. And I raised the point on another platform that we need to really check the level of institutional corruption and institutional incompetency in our country. I was so disappointed in the police service that they deploy, on average, 1 police officer to 10 delegates for intra-party election. Are we not surprised? In the general election, is that what happened? And we should applaud the party because they've coerced and cow everybody into submission.
Was it not peace we are looking for? At the end of the day,
and
you have peace.
At what cost?
Happy?
And at what cost? What peace? You are a delegate. And as I said, delegates are basically live in a constituency, in the electoral area, in polling station. They know themselves. When they are going to vote, must we police them to the extent that we take 10 delegates, we give them 1 police officer? So what happens to the general election when there are different interested parties going for that election?
What is wrong with police working?
It costs money to the state. It costs a lot of money to the state. And we shouldn't condone that. It's something that I think some of our parliamentarians to take the IGP on and request that how much did it cost us on Saturday as a country to deploy that to support a party's election. So we shouldn't sweep that under the carpet. And probably before you come in, another point I would like to make is that the system that MPP has is not different from the system that NDC has. And I'm surprised that CPP wants us to also applaud them for saying that that is their system. This system is not sustainable and it's undermining our democracy. And we need to reposition the way restructure our political parties to ensure that we select leaders who are competent to, to govern our country.
This is a political party system. They have decided to do this. And for them, it's good enough. It's actually promoted their democracy in their party. They don't have a problem with it.
But that is, you see, you must understand that Ghana is the country and MPP is a subset of the country. So they cannot determine what is good for their selfish interest and impose that on the general Ghanaian. That is unacceptable.
They didn't impose it on us.
They did. That is what you are saying, that it is their party.
Yes.
But you showed the level of commitment the media, the state, some of the state institutions and stakeholders have committed to MPP's primaries. They don't do the same to other very critical and important national issues. You don't. If you say that, it is their party, they are not exclusive of the country Ghana. And the whole country Ghana must be paramount to any sectorial interest or institutional, or let me say the political party's own agenda.
All right. Let me speak with Professor Ezekiel Note, who is also joining us on Zoom. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you too?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Great.
Yeah. Yes. So let me give my remarks.
Please go ahead.
I think NPP did so well. I didn't see much of fights here and there. Things went on peacefully. Yeah. But a few things I want to note, and I share some of the sentiments that earlier speakers have hinted. For instance, NPP needs a bigger unity. They need to be united to have a common agenda. When you look at the outcome, really, it doesn't show that they all have the same agenda. Because the one who won with just about a little over 56%. And this is an internal elections. I was expecting that if really their choice is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he should be in the rooftop of the 80s, 90s, because that is what we expect when you are leading a political party. And this is 56. It means that a chunk, almost about 40-something%, are not in favor of his candidacy. And it means that he needs a lot of work to bring everybody on board. I also see that the grassroots are not too happy, some of them. I think he needs to reach out to them and bring everybody on board. For Ghanaians to believe again in NPP, they should believe in themselves and push that agenda. If we see that there are these back and forth hits here and there and jabs, it means that they are not ready, and Ghanaians will not see them as a credible alternative to the
Hello, Professor Note. Hello. All right, so we'll go back to Professor Note for him to finish, but his internet is messing up a little bit, so please pardon us. Yes, Osei, you wanted to say something?
You see, we are all politicians, okay? And there's always the need to set the record straight so that the voters, the citizens, believe that they can have hope in us. If there are not political parties, there can be democracy, right? So let's understand that. First of all, I think my brother from the UP is still bitter about he leaving the MPP based on some of the comments he's making. We both know that every political party goes to the polls to elect their executives or delegates, okay, who supervise the election of a flag bearer every 4 years, okay, and we did ours in 2020 when I was elected, all right. So, and I was elected as a national youth organizer. So he should get his fact right. Again, he's talking about the policing, and he has difficulties with it. I'm surprised.
But you need to establish. But see, the point that your delegate Albon was done. I'm talking about MPP, so you shouldn't use this.
No, but the point is because listen. No. You see,
Doc,
there's one thing. There's one thing I want him to know. The politicians live in a house called political parties house, and we have a common compound. So whatever our neighbors do, we have interest. All right?
And that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And so if I am in the same compound and I see the MPP fetching water, and you are telling me that they were lighting fire, why shouldn't I put you...
Especially if you've seen them fetching
Exactly.
water. Okay.
So what are you talking about? The fact that I'm in CPP doesn't mean that I am not looking at what is happening in the MPP. I'm interested in their candidates, both parliamentary and presidential. I'm interested in even the executives, because that is going to shape me in bringing who I'm going to face them with. Okay, that will inform who I'm also going to elect in my political party as executives.
Right.
So get it straight. Okay, this thing about the album and all those things, it's not true. All right, it is not true.
Okay.
As far as we are concerned,
because CPP is concerned.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, number two, he's talking about policing, and he has issues because the Ghana Police Service amassed themselves to protect the people of Ghana. Really? Look, there's the Public Order Act, which says that if any citizen, a group of citizens, okay, want to associate or organize things like this, the Ghana Police Service must ensure law and order. You wanted the IGP to go and sleep? If there were casualties today, would we be saying the same story? You see, let's have some sort of integrity, all right, when it comes to, communicating. The fact that you are no more with them doesn't mean you have to be better. The truth is the truth. I am not with the MPP. I am with the CPP. I will compete them in 2028. But that doesn't mean that, whatever they do or say is not right. There's a difference between democracy and democracy. Democracy and democracy, they are very close, but they're different. Democracy is when you say such it is, you give credit when credit is due and all that. And democracy is that because I am not in the party, whatever they do is not right. No, that's not how we build a country. So that is another thing. Two, the top-down approach. Look, political parties are made up of like-minded individuals. That's why they left, because they didn't agree with the MPP on certain policies. Right? So the like-minded people who are still in the MPP can decide that because we want A or B or C, this is how we're going to go about it. And the Political Parties Act allow internal strategies. That is why in 2024, we the CPP said that, look, none of the national executives, regional executives, constituency executives, or police station executives appear on the ballot paper during elections. It's the flag bearer. So why do we go and elect all these people who are not going to be on the paper? And then we have limited time for the main person who's going to be on the paper to campaign. So if that's the case, let's elect a flag bearer, okay, who's going to be on the paper for Ghanaians to know that this is the CPP candidate. And that whatever the CPP does, say, or whatever, this is the person they are selling. You understand? And that was our internal strategy. And we didn't have much time because we went to court and the CPP issues, which I'm not going to say here, okay? But we are building. That's why I told you I was in Elembele. Okay? Quietly, we are building. We understand what is at stake and a lot of things, which I'm not going to say because for the strategic reasons. But the point is that let's be honest as we can when it comes to, communication and all those things. Now, when Dr. Sante was talking, he made mention that the flag bearer elect of the MPP is not corrupt. I don't know about that because I've never worked with him. I've never seen, publications about him and all those things. But there's one thing I want to say. When it comes to leadership, the first thing we consider is not whether you're competent or not. Competence. Dr. Sante, the first thing we are looking for, whether you are competent for the job or not. Okay? Whether you are a thief or not will be known later. You understand my point? So, he's not.
Isn't the corruption a part of it?
It's one of those. But the main I'm not saying it's not part. Okay. All right. I'm saying that the main thing I'm looking for is whether you are competent. Charlie, are you competent in hosting the morning show? Okay, whatever you do outside and all those things, as other things, I will look at other factors. Okay, ad hocs that I will look like. Okay, so the main measurement, the main yardstick for choosing a leader should be whether the person is competent enough to lead that office, and it is very well. So I think that is what we should look at. All right, and fortunately enough, he was given, certain positions when the party was in power. And that's what I'm going to dwell on. That's what we're going to do in my campaign. And there's always something that, you know what, we are all in opposition, so you can't attack the person and all that. You see, those people who say that are political novice. You see, in a race, if you don't beat number 2, you can't race number 1. You understand my point? All of us here are in opposition. We all want to wrestle power from the NDC. He says his plans are good. He says his policies are good. And I'm saying that I'm the best. Now, before I can convince the Ghanaian, I have to make sure that whatever holes there are in his policies, I punch them. Whatever lies are there, I state them. And then come out as the person who can be trusted. So we have to understand that. And I'm telling you, I have a lot to say and question about Dr. Bawumia when he had power. And that is why I told you, in choosing his running mate, it's going to be his doom or it's going to make him. Okay.
Now, let me go back on the Zoom. I'll come to you, Yao, pretty shortly. Ishak Ibrahim has joined us again, and he's from the camp of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Ishak? Hello, Ishak, can you hear me? Hello?
I don't think Ishak is meant to be the show today.
Ishak, kindly unmute yourself for me. All right, so I'll come back into the studio and I'll come back to you, Ishak, pretty shortly. I know Yao wanted to respond to something before I even ask any further questions.
What I wanted to respond to has got to do with when he alluded to the fact that the top-down approach was cooked for a particular candidate. That's quite laughable. The internal mechanisms of the NPP do not allow a single voice to dominate. Now, National Council met, a decision was made that this is the approach that we are going to use. And, for example, my candidate then agreed to the new process. So therefore, it becomes very strange to put it out there that you have a credible information as to how the system was cooked for a particular individual. That's an unfortunate statement to make, especially when you were with that political party and you know how internally our system has always worked. Yeah, the fact that you are no more part of us, that does not mean that you don't still have your umbilical cord not connected to us. Maybe probably one or two issues where you see clarity or you don't understand, that's why you are sitting on the fence. Does not mean that the hand that fed you, you begin to bite it. You don't do that, especially within our value system. And I think we need to be guided. I wouldn't sit in your studio here, on your platform, to be looking into what issues pertain in their party where I do not even have a first-hand information, and to throw out certain kind of information where I know when it is verified wouldn't be the case. Let's not do that politics. It doesn't help us in any way. And I think the beautiful aspect of what was done on Saturday is what we need to speak to. If there were casualties in the process on Saturday, what would have been the narration here?
Yeah.
So when we praying for that to happen so that we could say, yes, we've gotten them, you are not competing the NPP. Your preoccupation should be the sitting government, what they are offering, what they are offering, whether if it serves the interest of the larger population well. Are you comfortable having 1,900 from January to June in 2025 dying on our roads? No. That is unacceptable. These are some of the issues that we need to be looking at, rather than throwing things that we can't independently verify. Again, the policing issue as to why the state or whatever decided to set that quantum number to police the process. I beg you, when you are doing your own internal process, you will have same opportunity to call on the police, Ghana Police Service, to maintain that peace and order. And if the NPP got it right, just say that you got it right. We want to learn from you. And I think that beautifies the whole process. Today we are discussing the aftermath. And therefore, I wouldn't want to jump into any fray that would taint my white attire in this whole celebration.
You should have worn white. Why are you not wearing white?
You know what? These colors are also significant.
To the NPP,
yes, significant in terms of history, understanding it within our traditional context.
Okay, let me speak with Dr. Asah-Asante. He's still here. Doc?
Yeah.
Now, Doc, I just want to find out from you. Yes, I want to find out from you the immediate steps the NPP should take, and now they've elected their flag bearer.
Yeah, before I come to that, I'm not oblivious of it. If you are electing somebody for Ghana, competence is low. There are a number of factors. You also know that research has shown this country, one problem is the issue of corruption. You have a competent leader as the man. But if it's corrupt, they come back to where? All right. If I'm saying Bawumia is corrupt, if he has contrary evidence, anybody who disagrees with me show the contrary evidence. If Bawumia himself, he should be wrong that he is corrupt. And I have said it. I don't have any information that Bawumia is corrupt. I cannot put that. But I'm saying that it is one of the governance indicators that affect our governance a lot, that you need to deal with corruption. And it is also interesting to point out to people that research has shown that a third variable that voters consider when they are voting to become a president of this country, they want to see how you deal with corruption. I said, I believe that NPP, they have a lot of work. One, they need to see, as I've already said, how to balance the tickets to make Bawumia very effective. Some of the areas that you need to, the person that you bring in will come and augment that, and then provide an opportunity that to bring a lot of people from support. That said, they should be able to sit down and look at all the things Dr. Bawumia has said, even before he became a vice president. Because you see, people are not going to ignore that because, politics is nothing but what? Your record and your ideas. The contest of ideas and tandem of your work.
Okay, so the network again, I don't know what's happening today, but I want to try Ishak again. So Ishak, if you're on, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Now you can. Thank you so much. And congratulations once again. I must say this is a good one for the entire team and you're happy. What are plans so far since you have won?
Yes. Yeah, the M. And so, what I'm getting, I think our report from together. Nevertheless, things was in out to our text.
Ishak, I'm really struggling to hear you. Your line is breaking so much. I can hardly hear you. Oh, unfortunately, I was struggling to hear Ishak. I struggle with Dr. Asah. Dr. Asah-Asante, we are so sorry. The network is so bad. You were making a very good point, but unfortunately, the network was bad, so we couldn't hear you. Same with Ishak. So let me come back to the studio. Dr. Edum.
I thought.
No, for you people,
these were rebuttals.
Yes.
But he brought it
I'm going around one line, and then we have to go. So one line.
I never contested anything. That is my platform.
So, Dr. Educhum, right now they have elected their flag bearer, whether we like.
But your Educhum, is it?
The same spelling, Educhum.
I know the fool.
Educhum, not the flag bearer.
Okay. All right. So now that they have elected, it's been a very successful one, I must say, with their election. What lessons have you learned out of their elections 2020?
Yeah, before I come to that, I need to also rebut that importantly, and so we are educating our viewers. I was part and parcel of the team that helped the Honorable Alan Martin's campaign when MPP started the process towards the 2023 primaries. And I'm putting it out there. In this year, we have a lot of party officers working. The process was started from November 2021, ended in April 2022. The national executives, led by the former immediate past chairman who resigned, Chairman Stephen Tim, was elected in 2022, November. So it's not in that. I'm surprised that you come on national television and you don't have your facts. If you don't have your fact, don't speak to somebody's point. Another point is that I'm not saying that the police shouldn't have protected the process. Of course, MPP is more or less a state, para-state institution. You can describe it as a quasi-state institution. Whatever they do have implications for our economy. But I'm talking about the quantum of deployment that was done. And if you're a party member, you're going to vote. It's like an annual general meeting. And you require that level of security. And stakeholders think that there's nothing wrong because police is there. Have you checked the police ratio to citizen? It's 1,000 plus to one police officer. Compare that to national election. It is about just 600 to one police officer. And in this case, you did 10 to one police officer for your own inter-party election. People must be critical.
What's the point?
In Ghana, you see the level of incompetence is, and we tolerate too much. And that's why we are where we are. That is why we are, because these people are seeking to lead our country. But look at their level of analysis. That is the problem. Now, to your point.
To
your point.
You know, war is very expensive. When you destroy, you hardly can.
But you see, it is not. Why are we thinking that they were going for a battle?
Please.
Rosalind, why are we premising our analysis on that? That MPP, so NDC is in government, and NDC means that we may have to import police officers from maybe outside the country, UN, to make sure that they have peaceful election. Then what happens to our national election?
That's the beauty of your analysis.
We shouldn't tolerate certain things.
You understand of nationalism with that beauty of thinking.
We do that, and we forget that there is something in economics we call opportunity cost. And you see, that is the unfortunate aspect. I mean, these people, you have opportunity to allocate our resources. That's how you're going to allocate our resources. No wonder that we will remain at where we are. But on your substantive point, you see, leadership, in my view, is very critical going forward. And I will not sit here to denigrate or be negative about any personality. And I haven't done that. You have to be secretary. I haven't said anything negative about Dr. Bawumia. I have had opportunity to be in the same government with him, to be in the same party with him. He has his faults, obviously, and as my brother said, when it gets to the time for us to assess the candidate that will be running for the 2028 election, we will do so. At the moment, for me, he has a lot of problem to deal with within his party, and also, first of all, bringing the party together. And Prof made it clear, Dr. Ansah made it clear, it is a Herculean task because of the way the campaign went. And if you replay some of the statements that came out from leaders of various camps, you are not left in doubt that they have a lot of work to do. But I know the strategy of NPP is to whitewash these things, and they will do that. I mean, of course, because they have the media muscle and they have the structures to whitewash these critical issues. Right. I can only wish the party well, and I don't, sit here to be negative about our democracy, but I'm being very critical.
All right. Please, 30 seconds.
So I find his comment about this is our analysis on national television very offensive. Okay, he has his own way of thinking. What's fact I'm talking about?
I'm saying that you are dead wrong. Now let me tell you, disputing that the Ghana Police Service Yao knows it.
If the Ghana Police Service want to deploy personnel to safeguard the police, it will be based on intelligence, right? So the Ghana Police Service know why they deployed a number of, and does he have data to say that because policemen were deployed to safeguard or protect the MPP delegates, certain people lost their lives or properties? Is that what he's saying? You should get serious, okay? Don't do that to me on other platforms, okay? You have your opinion, I have mine. I represent a political party, you do yours as well. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to have a very serious problem. This is the problem. Certain individuals like Opoku Mensah were aligned to certain candidates. Now Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has won. He needs them to be part of his team. So there's going to be a very serious struggle for space and recognition. All right? Particularly, members of parliament who did not support his campaign, but they're in parliament. And people who are looking forward to unseat those members of parliament, but were in Bawumia's camp. You understand my point? So this reconciliation, I pray for them. It's a very Herculean task. And we just hope that, it doesn't divide them further. Because in as much as in a political party trying to, unseat them and all that, I'm also mindful of the fact that it can happen to me, all right? And so we only pray for them so that at the end of the day, when they are able to do it well, and it happens in my party, that there's fire, I can tell them that, look, let's try what these people did to reconcile their party after the internal elections. For Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, your running mate is going to make or make you. And so this time, you have to be very careful. Whether that's Tamil's legacy or Nana Akufo-Addo's legacy, you have to be mindful.
All right,
Again, our process for the carrier never started in 2021. The NPP on Friday, January 28th, 2022, issued the guidelines for the process. And therefore, it talked about electoral area coordinators. Own was done March 18th to March 20th. 2022. Please, no, nothing was started in 2021. Nothing was started in 2021. So it moved. So in July, where the national officer, these were tentative data that were given. So nothing started in 2021. On the issue of unity, yesterday, Dr. Osei Kofi and his top campaign officers visited the outfit of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. After a phone call to him, congratulating him, official statement made, he went there physically to also congratulate him again and begin the process of bringing all of us together. We don't have a choice than to close our ranks. And that is what is expected of every party member, whether you supported A or B. The elections is over, the strife is over, the battle is done. Now we have a candidate to sell out. It is our responsibility. Don't wait for somebody to call you to join.
All right, Yao, thank you
Just
so
take
much.
up and join.
All right.
Let us make this happen for 2028 to be a smooth victory for the NPP.
Yao, thank you so much for joining us. And for those that joined us on Zoom, unfortunately, the network was bad, but I want to say a very big thank you to all of you, Professor Ezekiel Norte. Unfortunately, I couldn't get your submission. Dr. Kwame Asa-Asante, I got some of your submissions, but unfortunately, we couldn't get the rest, but we are so grateful. And Ishaq Ibrahim, thank you too for joining us on Zoom. Unfortunately, we couldn't get your submissions as well, but hopefully we'll bring you back again tomorrow for us to have, a very, very good conversation. But to you in the studio, I want to say a very big thank you. Yao Opoku Mensah, very grateful that you made time this morning. And to you, Osei Kofi Acquah, thank you so much. He represented the CPP. And Dr. Nana Yao Educhum. It's amazing he's called Yao Educhum,
That's why I wonder why
Thank you so much.